Hi, I'm Xuan and welcome to RenovAID, the show where we help needy families renew, rebuild and revitalize their homes. A mother's daily struggle and her husband's constant worry.
Because our home is a lot of things around, so it's quite dangerous for them when they are moving around. So it might hit anything or have a fall to get injured.
Can we lessen their burden and take some weight off their shoulders? 42-year-old Irene shoulders a heavy burden. She not only has to work and care for a growing teenager with special needs, but also raise a much younger child. As the main caregiver, she struggles with maintaining her home. She worries that the increasing clutter and deteriorating conditions in the flat may pose a danger to her elderly in-laws. Can RenovAID lend a helping hand and create a more conducive environment for this multi-generational household? Irene and her husband Mike have 3 children. Their second child, Blaze, is 15 this year. As a special needs child suffering from epilepsy and sleep issues, he requires constant care.
Daddy, okay. Now I'm doing is beauty line. The problem now because it's COVID timing, a bit stressed because not much customer come to the place. I need to try to make more sales to help my family because my family need too many things already. And I need to settle Blaze when she go to see doctor. My small boy also under student care. Wake up until now, still haven't eat anything. Drink also don't want to drink, eat also don't want to eat. Then I will a bit scared the weight will go down.
Both husband and wife gave up full-time, well-paid jobs for part-time work so that they can have time to better take care of Blaze. However, Blaze can be quite a handful. Despite their best efforts, they can't seem to get Blaze to eat well.
Yeah, because he still haven't stable. Because sometimes the emo every morning will change. Every day will change different pattern. I'm not too sure today she feeling is how, tomorrow feeling is how. Need to everything to try lor.
Blaze is unable to verbalize his thoughts and feelings, so Irene uses picture cards for simple communication.
Just take out this one. I will ask Blaze today happy, not happy. Sometimes he don't listen to me lah. Then I will ask you not happy, you take not happy, or you sad, you let me see. Need help or need drink or have lah. Yeah, simple one all have lor, eat lor. Yeah, to let he understand which one you want. Okay. Okay, 你吃。Okay, 你吃。妈妈。
Till now, Irene and her husband cannot get a definite diagnosis on Blaze's full condition.
My daughter tell me, your boy also don't know how the life is long or short. Then I say, okay, you just let me know I need to do anything to my boy for further everything lah. I want to with my boy more longer lah.
After hearing the news, so I decided to change to a part-time job to accompany my boys more.
With 7 family members in the household and the 2 younger children requiring more attention, Irene has very little time to herself.
Okay, 你去那边坐。
My wife also worked very hard. Then she also do a lot of work for our family. She take care of Blaze day and night, without fail. And she take care of my parents also, What I worry is because our home is a lot of things around, so it's quite dangerous for them when they are moving around. So it might hit anything or have a fall to get injured.
The floor also poses a safety hazard for Irene's in-laws as it can get very slippery.
I told my father-in-law, mother-in-law, don't come out because the floor I scared too wet. Then you both come out, I scared fall down.
Hopefully after this renovation, it'll be a much more safer place for my parents and my kids and to clean up easily, and I can spend more time with my kids and my family also.
Hello.
Hi, Irene.
Hello, Joanne.
Hello, hi. Nice to meet you. Hi, Mike, Joanne. Nice to meet you.
Yesterday work too late already. A bit tired.
Just woke up. Sorry to wake you up. Like, I noticed that the ceiling is a bit low, then the fan is also a bit low. Are you worried about that for
I
Blaze?
worried this fan because when you open big, the fan will shake.
But actually, when I first bought the flat, I didn't think that there were like huge issues with it. It was pretty clean, the floors were really clean, and things were kind of just pushed up to the side, but stacked very high. So I understand what Irene was saying about she was worried for the safety of the elderly people in the flat because the higher you stack things, the more chances there are of things falling down.
Here is my thing.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's a lot of plastic bags.
Yeah.
For what?
Don't know.
But she don't want to throw.
The one. Also don't want to give people.
Oh. All right, then how about what's all this?
Here is every day she need to buy.
Oh.
I also don't know why. Because this one, Monday to Friday, I only cook one time.
Okay. You look very stressed.
Every time she asks me, why you never clean for the kitchen? Then I say, I come back, it's very late already. Kitchen is too many things.
Right.
And somehow I need to hang my clothes over here.
Irene shares that with 7 people living in the flat, that means a lot of clothes to wash and dry. The wet area here in the kitchen poses a fall risk. Given the limited storage and the amount of items they keep, the working space in the kitchen is quite small. Irene worries about storing Blaze's medicine and medical supplies properly.
My boy medicine I put here lah.
Oh wow, that's a lot of medicine, huh? Oh, those are like collectibles.
Yeah.
Whose are those?
Also my mother-in-law.
That one I feel also a bit scared for you because on the top when you take, it looks like
I need to cry out lah.
Oh, it is a lot of things. Yeah. It sounds like you have a lot to do already. It feels like you're already stretched quite thin.
Space is limited lah, because there's a lot of people in the house. It's actually very messy because there's a lot of stuff over here. So I believe with the proper storage spaces, they can actually categorize their items and place properly, then it will not be so messy lah.
For Irene, taking care of a special needs teenager who also suffers from epilepsy and sleep issues can be quite challenging.
Sometimes the emo every morning will change. Every day will change different pattern. I was not too sure today she's feeling is how, tomorrow feeling is how. Need to everything to try lor.
It sounds like you have a lot to do already. It feels like you're already stretched quite thin.
This one is my room.
Oh, you and your husband sleep in this room?
Yeah, and my Blaze.
And Blaze.
I do this one for Blaze that he frustrated anyhow draw lah. My husband will sleep here. Me and my boy will sleep here because I cannot sleep the bed.
Because you have to be next to Blaze?
Yeah, I need to hold the hand.
I find out this is because Irene is afraid she won't know when Blaze suffers a fit at night. This way, she will be woken up and can flip Blaze on the side to open up his airway.
1, 2. My boy was in the center because I scared she knocked the head again. 7.
Though Irene has no idea what can put Blaze to sleep, she knows there is one thing he can't do without: the aircon.
My boy needs to sleep first. When she sleep, I need to do my housework already. Then do the housework also need to do until 12 to 1 o'clock already. Then morning wake up about 6:30, I need to bring all the kids go to school. Finish all the thing, I rush to working. Working finish already, I come back do the same thing. 365 they do all the same thing, never stop. This salon
As I was listening to all the things that Irene had to do every single day, I really felt for her because the list was so long, and it really felt as though the bulk of the caregiving and the bulk of the housekeeping falls on her shoulders.
But the rest of the family do try to pitch in as much as they can. Irene's in-laws look out for the younger children when she's out at work, while her husband Mike helps out with housework. This family needs a home that will take less time to upkeep.
This one is my girl room, huh?
Oh.
This bedroom belongs to Irene and Mike's eldest daughter, who is a nurse. It is kept simple and neat. The bed frame was a birthday present from Irene to her daughter last year, so it is a definite keeper.
Last 2 years birthday, I bring all the pink color.
Oh.
Okay, this is my dad's room.
Ah. Hello,
Yeah.
Kong. Hello, Ma.
So it's quite cramped right now.
Quite a lot of things.
Yeah, correct.
妈，这些是什么来的哈？
里面 bed 来的咯。
哦，这个你做的哈？
做的。
做得很美耶。
There isn't much walking room with the beds on one side and items stacked up on the other. Irene's mother-in-law likes to sew, and she has kept her handiwork as well as sewing materials here in this room.
This is where Cayman sleep. This is where my dad sleep.
Ah, okay, got it. This plug over here, I noticed it's quite high. Is it difficult?
Accessing the power points and windows in the master bedroom may be more of a stretch for Irene's in-laws. Fortunately, the toilets had undergone upgrading, so the two elders have no trouble using them.
这里有一个旧的花洒。
哦，那个
收来
不舍得丢嘛，
哦。
还可以用嘛，那个阿嬷就收起来咯。
Oh. I think overall it's clean. It's just maybe it needs some organization.
Yes.
I understand from Irene and Mike that they're hoping that through this process we'll be able to get rid of some of the things and start with maybe a clearer space. So I think that might be a challenge. Although, as we spoke to Amma and Akong, they did seem quite okay to throw away things. So I guess maybe it's just a process of sorting through it all.
To help make over Irene's home, we have Adrian from Joda Interior who will be assessing the flat today.
Hi Blaze, how are you?
Hello, Blaze. Hello. 他喜欢我嘞。
Yeah, he likes you.
We find out that Blaze and Grandpa are heading out to take their routine bus ride, which helps calm Blaze down.
Okay, thank you Akong, bye-bye.
The house is actually very messy because there's a lot of stuff over here.
Right.
So I believe with the proper storage spaces, they can actually terrorize their items and place properly, then will not be so messy lah.
Would it be worth it to kind of like put a door in between even?
To separate into the dry and wet area,
Ah.
for them I won't suggest because it will be like more obstruction.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
this family right and their needs right, I believe we need to make it more minimalist for where there's a wider space and then you won't have to like easily bang into something because there's elderly in the house as well.
All right, so the living room. Over here is actually the dining room.
Adrian notices that the dining area is too small for the family as they can't sit together for a meal. And with an active young child and a special needs teenager who is not cognizant of what might be harmful to themselves, having too many items lying about may pose a danger not only to themselves but others.
The TV also headache. Sometimes you shake the TV some more.
Space is limited lah,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people in the house. So you also must consider there's also a younger kid in the
Yes.
house. So in future when you grow up, he may also want
His own room, yeah.
So initially I was thinking whether to make a room for the younger kid.
Yeah.
Yes. But then if Amma want the space, then they have to fight with it lor.
Have to share. They take turns, one half sewing room, one half bedroom.
This sofa we need to throw away because Blaze like to urine at that side.
So we have to pick like a material that's easy to clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
My room.
Adrian doesn't notice any problems with the daughter's room that need addressing, but with Irene's room, other than replacing the storage, Adrian sees that he may have to reconfigure their sleeping arrangements.
So maybe we can actually do a platform storage bed also. So that some of the things that seldom used, we can just put it
underneath.
Yeah, underneath. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
这个就是我家婆的房间。
Hello, Amma.
For Adrian, the recessed areas in the master bedroom make up wasted space.
I don't know, it's a wall can try to take out 厨会比较高一点，它可以不磨顶。
Okay, understand. We can see what we can do about this. Okay. And then as spoken, okay, a lot of stuff here. Amma 很多东西。要丢掉很多。要丢掉，你要愿意放弃，才会得到新的。
Important, my mother-in-law is want this bed lah, because this one is a super heavy bed lah.
Okay. They are just like another family. It's just that they got their own different kind of needs. If we help them to renovate and do the things nicely, it may not help with their medical condition, but at the end of the day, it may give them a better place to stay in where they'll be happy. You know, when they come back to home, they will be happy. This is what we want.
What happened to your hand?
Too many things carry it.
Oh no, you packed so much of this.
Yeah.
As spoken, okay, a lot of stuff here. Amma 很多东西。 要丢掉，你要愿意放弃，才会得到新的。
Today, I'm keen to find out what Adrian has planned for Irene and her family.
Okay, so where should we start? The living room?
Yeah, okay. So the living room, once you enter from the main door, on the right side, right? Yeah. So actually we sort of come up with a plan to give them a space where they can actually dine in together. At the same time, it also acts as a storage cabinet.
For Adrian, storage is one of the key concerns that he wants to address, given the size of the family and the amount of items they have. He intends to make full use of the recessed areas under the windows by installing cabinets throughout the length of the living room.
Oh, so you built like all the way across?
Yes. At the same time, you will make the living room and the rooms actually more spacious so that it will not be so cluttered. You know, they will not have like risk of stepping on things and falling down or things tipping over and then dropping on them.
What I'm really liking right now is everything just looks visually very calming.
Yeah, I think it may benefit the kids so that it will not be like there's so many things around surrounding, you know, affecting them. They will have to like
very visually stimulated all the time because there's a lot of things to look at.
Though the layout of the kitchen remains essentially unchanged, Adrian intends to open up the area by making the entrance wider. This will allow him to build more cabinets, which Irene will need to store Blaze's medical supplies and other sundries.
Because there's so many cupboards, we can actually start assigning cupboards to people, right? So as in like we can start saying, okay, this one's your cupboard, this one's your cupboard, this one's your...
So they get their own personal space kind of. Yeah.
The toilet is looking really nice.
Yeah, it's actually a white kind of like marble luxury kind of feel.
As for the common toilet and bathroom, Adrian will be using white wall tiles to brighten up the space. He will also be opting for rougher surfaces for the flooring here so that it won't get too slippery when wet.
Okay, wait, I just noticed something. Is this the basin? You intend to have the basin inside this area?
So we intended to have the basin inside this area, removing the existing one beside the rubbish chute. After we hack everything, we can try to see whether there's any space to fit it inside.
Actually, can I make a suggestion? Is it possible to leave the basin outside? Because this is the bathroom that Blaze showers in. And I'm afraid that he might like, you know, I don't know, maybe on a day he doesn't want to shower, he might end up like knocking himself or something.
Adrian will be resizing the master bedroom and the daughter's room to optimize storage planning.
Then for the wardrobe, right, because existing, right, as you can see, there's a beam over here. The wardrobe actually, we waste the space on top of the beam. And then the cabinet actually starts from the inside. So they will have actually the full height access of the whole cabinet.
Oh, nice. And you're using sliding doors.
Yes, correct.
Adrian intends to create a special feature wall in the master bedroom toilet, one he hopes Grandma will like.
This feature wall tiles, we actually choose it is because, you know, Amma like to sew the blanket.
Yeah.
So actually, it reminds me of the
patch, the ones that she was patching together.
Yes, correct.
Okay, wait, I got a question. Amma had a lot of things lined up against the wall where the TV was.
Yeah.
Do we have replacement storage for that?
The bed frame will be actually a storage bed frame.
When it comes to the daughter's room, Adrian will be opting for slightly darker tones given her personal preferences.
But she like black and white, right?
Yeah, correct. But then Amma struck already. Amma that day say no.
No black, not allowed.
Yeah. So you have to try to mix things out lah. Or maybe the cabinet color, we choose a darker one for her.
Oh yeah.
Because most of the cabinet color, actually we choose something like a wooden kind of feel.
Okay.
Yeah, something like this is smooth surface lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least so they can wipe easy also.
That's
yeah.
nice.
What Irene wanted.
Irene's room will see an L-shaped wardrobe, which should give them ample storage. Given that Blaze needs to sleep with his parents, Adrian will be getting them a king-size bed.
Everything looks so easy to clean, like there's no difficult areas, everything feels quite open. I think you've come up with some really creative solutions and also made use of the recesses that are currently not being used. So you've also expanded the usage of the space that they have, which is great.
Yeah.
Our volunteers, James and I, head up to Irene's flat to see how far along they are in packing their belongings.
Hi! Oh my goodness, everything is all packed up. It's so neat. What happened to your hand?
Too many things carried.
Oh no, you packed so much of this.
Yeah.
Oh, Irene.
But well done, well done.
Irene and her family seem to have done most of our job. Gone are the loose items that look like they're about to topple over. The family have given away what they can and have almost everything boxed up. Well, except for Cayman's fishes.
How are you gonna pack your fish?
Inside this bag full of water.
Ayo, you should use transparent bag, ma.
Oh, I see.
We get Irene and her family out of the way so that our volunteers can start the ball rolling.
All right, guys, Irene has done a phenomenal job. She has cleared out everything. She even got rid of the bed frames and the fridge. So really, our work is very simple here today. My question is, are you guys ready to set a new record?
Yay!
Let's go!
We are pleasantly surprised. All been stacked up in boxes nicely, so it's make our job much easier. And the family is a nice family too. So we are really glad to come and to lend a helping hand.
In fact, my gloves are so clean, not black and not wet, so it's a great thing. Good for the volunteers for us. Yeah, I would say it's the first.
It's actually been a pretty easy day because Irene pretty much sorted everything out. My goodness, I don't know how she did it, but she did it. And she kept saying, like, I didn't want to give more work to you guys because you're already helping us out. And I just like, But the thing is, you know, there's so many of us. We would have been really happy to make it easier for her because we already know she really has a lot on her plate.